Hello, Aquarius. It's time for your weekly reading. Yes, it is very, very late. It was supposed to happen on the 15th, and it's now the 18th, so my apologies for that. I had so many things happen this week that were just kind of crazy, and it screwed up my filming schedule. So, unfortunately, I've got to learn to plan better. I am not the best planner, and I didn't realize how long it would take me to do these shows at times. So I have to get better at it. So anyway, May 18th to 24th, 2021, that is the time frame we're gunning for. So let's dive in. These swords cards. What is going on with all of us? Like, we must be in so much pain because I just keep getting these cards that display so much pain and agony, heartache. This one too, the last reading, both of them were there. And trust me, you have no idea how I shuffle. I shuffle like a lunatic. Okay, so this damn situation. And the swords. Okay, so here we've got somebody who's the victor in a situation. Sometimes we call this a sore winner card because the guy, the way it's drawn, maybe it wasn't intended to look like this, but he always looks like a bit of a goof. Like, I've got the swords and you don't. See you later. Maybe that's just my perception, but other people call it the sore winner card too sometimes. So anyway, so there's a lot of heartache about this. I mean, there's a lot of heartache. Well, it could be this. It doesn't have to be this, but, you know, often there is somebody being a sore winner in these situations. If it's a love situation, you can see why the heartache, you know, but it's pretty bad. I'm going to assume this isn't something like a death because of this card. This is just some kind of victory here. So there's no indication. I mean, it could be. I don't think that's the case, but whatever it is, it's something that's causing terrible, terrible torment. Everybody's different, you know. Some people feel this bad over something fairly minor, but for other people it takes something terribly, terribly major to get to this point. So whatever it is, I hope it gets dealt with. I hope it's something that has a beginning, a middle, and an ending, not one of these things that just floats around forever and ever. Well, a lot of that is us letting it. But at the same time, you will hear me say that we have to dive in and deal with things and get rid of them when they're bad. It depends on what we're talking about here. If it's like true grief, sometimes things take a while to heal. You know, and I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I mean, there are things that never really heal. If you lose a child, you never really heal. And, you know, that's just the way it is. But, I mean, I imagine even that gets better, but, you know, it's one of those situations where you never really heal because it's not supposed to happen. Not to make you feel worse if you already have a bad situation. Hopefully it's nothing that dire. I think that this card, although the card in and of itself does not show isolation, I think part of the reason that I've gotten a lot of this card for doing readings for others is because there has been a lot of isolation for people for a while. So I don't know what your situation is exactly, but sometimes this card can show, you know, grief over being alone. Sometimes it's just grief over being alone for other reasons. Sometimes the heartache can be not really caused by anybody, but by not having somebody, you know, and that's why I say isolation. I know a lot of young people right now who are having trouble meeting people. They don't all like the people they see on Tinder and don't necessarily all want to be with those people. So it's difficult. I know a lot of people, and not just young people, people of all ages who are having trouble meeting people. It was like that before all these restrictions. There were already communication issues and difficulty getting together with people. But then this has just exacerbated all the problems so much. So now people are feeling more lonely and more broken and more upset. So I'm not sure what it is in each of your individual cases, but I hope it feels better soon. I'm going to say it will, because here we've got the star, and the star is all about purification. Purification and hope. Hope. And when I say positive things about hope, excuse me, I don't mean blind hope. I mean hope about things that are actually positive, things you can do, things that are real, things that you can actually latch onto, put into action, and find ways to make things good, which I'm sure you can. The Ace of Pentacles is all about beginning something that's going to bring you security and good stuff in the future. It's an investment. It can be a financial investment. It often is. It could be buying a home. It could be buying stocks and bonds. It could be starting a business. It could be anything that you're going to start that could be for your future security. That also means, because it's for your security and your health, wealth, and longevity, it could also be something that you're going to set into motion that's new. Maybe a diet. Maybe you've got a health issue and you can fix it completely or at least partially by changing your diet or getting more exercise or doing something else positive for yourself. Sometimes it can even be taking a little extra time to do something quiet. You know, sometimes we get a reminder that we need to do that. Sometimes we get a reflective card like the High Priestess. She's often called our self-care card, which is kind of cool. But even with something like this, if you're going to start something up that's health and benefit wise, sometimes it's something as simple as getting up a little earlier so that you can take a bubble bath instead of a 2-second shower. Or, it can be just going for a little walk through a park instead of down that busy street. Or if you live downtown like one of my daughters does, maybe you can go to the beach, instead of just walking where there's nothing but buildings. If that makes you feel better. Personally, I'm kind of okay with the buildings, but I also do like the beach. So I'm sure you can find something that's a retreat for you, a happy place, just for yourself. The Hierophant. The Hierophant is about so many things. I find it to be quite a complicated card. It can be about traditions. It can be about society. Some people are not loving the Hierophant card right now because society is going in directions they're not exactly happy about. And there's a lot of authority giving conflicting information, and that makes people upset. I've never been a big fan of the Hierophant just because it's a card of, like a card where, the status quo kind of thing, like everybody's doing the same thing. And so that reason makes me not love the Hierophant. Although I like traditional things, some traditional things, depending on what the things are. And it can also represent that. I mean, I would call a holiday a traditional thing, and I like celebrating the holidays. I have nothing against a wedding or, a graduation or the other things. Milestones in life can be represented by the Hierophant. So maybe you're going through one of those. So it's not your happiest reading, but it's got some interesting stuff, and I really feel good about this. I really, really do. So let's see how it's going to go as you move into next week. These three cards keep coming up together. So this is baggage. Okay, let's look at this from the point of what this card typically means, which is you feel backstabbed. You feel betrayed. Okay? But it can be a minor betrayal or it can be a major betrayal. But I'm going to say with all of these swords and all this pain and torment, this is major. This is major. I mean, you feel really bad here. But why? Why? Okay, we're going to pull 3 more cards just about this issue. What is going on here? Okay. Now this is going to sound weird, and maybe this isn't what it is, but this looks like something that's meant to be celebrated. Maybe a love situation. Maybe somebody close to you. Maybe you have not found the love of your life, and somebody close to you is getting married or having some kind of celebration of love here, and you're feeling left out. Or maybe there is an actual betrayal. Sometimes this card, I have never read this card this way, but a lot of people read this as a love triangle. So I would be very interested to know if that is what the betrayal is. We've got 3 and 3 here. There is some power in numbers. Then you've got the 9 and 10 of swords. These two are never great together. I mean, this is a sad reading. But this is all very happy until you have to get into the reason, right? Why is there celebration? Is this completely something different? Is this, because it's going to be different for all of you. So I'm just throwing things out there. So is it that there's all this pain and torment? Maybe you have never found your love and you feel betrayed because, you know, maybe you have had bad dating situations. Maybe you just have never found the right person. Maybe you're angry that other people have, in your inner circle, have seemed to have all of this just sort of handed to them, and you always seem to be denied it. But maybe it's all coming in, because here is the Ace of Cups, and then here's all this celebration. So maybe you need to, okay, so maybe you feel you've sacrificed something. Maybe you're getting older and you feel that your youth is sacrificed, and all this pain and torment is you feel you're too old to have a baby. Just an idea for some of you. So the Empress is a beautiful card. It is a card of birth, fertility. It doesn't have to be of children. It can also mean of ideas, of birthing something else beautiful onto the world. It can be a book, a painting, a sculpture, a company, anything that you want to create. But it's a very strong, powerful, beautiful card. And this is about something coming in fast and furious. Also means the arrows of love sometimes. And here you've got this Ace of Cups with the arrows of love and the celebration. So maybe this is all nothing to be that tormented about. Maybe something new and good is coming in here. Maybe you just need to reflect and think about this and see what's what. But I did promise you those bonus cards. Let's see what we've got. The Fool. This is a reminder from the universe to remember that the universe has your back. Be lighthearted. Be free. Don't be entrenched. Don't let this overtake you. Escape from this. For you, for your psyche, for your well-being. Don't keep rehashing it. Whatever it is, don't keep rehashing it. Think of something coming in fast. Think of being able to bring something to fruition here. Let's take one more pass at this. The Knight of Cups. You've got all these cards of love. We've got the Ace of Cups, the Knight of Cups. We've got the celebration with the Three of Cups. We've got a lot of good stuff going on. I guess it's not that many cups, but it feels like, being that the Ace is so strong, I'm feeling really strong on the cups. The Knight of Cups can be a messenger. He can be bringing a message of love. If he's a person, he's very, very charming. He's well-spoken, kind of wonderful, kind of handsome. He doesn't have to be physically handsome, but he will be perceived that way. Excuse me. I'm hacking to death because I have allergies. I even closed my window so the pollen wouldn't get me, but it is. A lot of reflection you need to do. See, you've got the Hangman here. This is a wonderful card about thinking about what your next step is going to be. You need to just think and figure out where you've been, where you're going, and don't rehash. You don't have to think about this. I mean, whatever has tormented you doesn't have to torment you forever. You know, it's time to move on. Time to break away. Don't hang on to it. You have to let it go. Here's somebody hanging on very, very tightly to something. Whatever this is, it's time to let it go. Just let it go. You've got a life to lead. You don't have time to be crying. I hope this helps, Aquarius. It's a bit of a complex reading, and it'll be different for some of you than for others, but I know that this element will be there on some level for each of you. So I hope it's minor for most of you, and I also know that this will be there on some level for each of you, because there's a lot of love here, and this is kind of a complex but exciting reading. Enjoy your week, and please let me know how it goes. Have a good one. Take care.